Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.
And we're live, bros. How goes it?
Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Back.
Thanks. Yeah, welcome back. Exactly. We're here with Andrew and Ricker. How goes it? Appreciate you coming back on and coming on for the first time here. So I guess I'll give you a chance, maybe, if you don't mind. Introduce yourself, bro. Let people know a little bit about who you are, and then we can jump into it.
So Ricker is the artist I was telling you all about last time. I figured instead of you keeping hearing the story from a white guy, you could hear about Hong Kong from a Hong Kong guy. And many technical questions come up, I'm still here, but because I've been teaching him NFTs. But yeah, he can tell you what has been inspiring his art and what feelings generates his content and passion and stuff. You can ask him any questions you might have had last time.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just curious how the experience has been as an artist using NFTs during this, time in history right now. Like, how do you feel using your art and selling digital NFT art?
Yeah. So, first, thank you so much for having me here. Like all this crypto community, cryptocurrency, and NFT is totally new to me. And thanks to Andrew and the Hong Kong Defense Institute for introducing me to NFT. So as an artist, I am actually totally foreign to all these aspects. And actually, I don't even, I paint in acrylic and I don't even know anything about digital art. So I don't know Photoshop and stuff. And I only started to know about Lightroom. So all this is new to me. And I think it's really an eye-opener that artists who can actually create digital art can actually, able to sell their stuff. I think that's really encouraging because, in the digital world, things are easily copyable and stuff like that. And people will not be able to, make a living a lot of times. Yeah. But now, there's this new market with NFT where you have a digital signature in the form of, I think it's called a token, right? That then you can actually have a unique instance of it. So I think it's pretty amazing. And so thanks to, I think it was Nathan that helped me created the digital Joshua Wong, the laser Bitcoin eyes.
That is so awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah. My original Joshua Wong is playing acrylic, and then he used I imagine Photoshop to create that. So it was really cool to also connect with digital artists to have my physical acrylic and use it together in a digital format with a digital artist. I think it's like really cool collaboration.
I really felt bad almost doing that because your artwork is so beautiful. I almost felt bad putting something on it. I really love the painting, and I painted a lot of acrylic too. That's how I started, and I don't know. I really just appreciate what you do. So thank you.
Yeah, so Andrew's
Yeah.
going to bring up the art for everybody watching. If you're just listening, though, you can go ahead and check it out on OpenSea. What's the name of the asset that they could type in the search bar, Andrew?
Let's see. The one Nathan helped us with was called, I think, Joshua Wong Laser Eyes.
Okay, so that was easy
And,
enough.
Yeah. Hold on. I need to stop my screen share for a sec.
Yeah, so you guys can check that out on OpenSea. But that was in Decentraland, or was it CryptoVoxels? CryptoVoxels?
I did it in Decentraland.
Decentraland, okay.
Our art gallery was in Decentraland, which is, I still have way more work to do on that, but I have too much work on everything these days.
Yeah, I dig it. But you guys could check out like this virtual gallery in Decentraland and see a lot of the art that we're talking about in like a really cool virtual art museum. It's a cool experience rather than just Googling what an image looks like, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Ricker, I wanted to ask you as an artist, have you seen what somebody did recently with a piece of art by Banksy? They burned it, they set it on fire, and then they made an NFT of it, and they call that the original. If I were to like buy a piece of your physical art, like something behind you, and take a picture of it, and then set it on fire, would that picture that I made into an NFT as an artist, would you consider that an original?
Actually, I didn't know too much about the Banksy, so they burned the Banksy, and then the burnt painting, the one with the burnt marks and stuff, the photo of it become an NFT?
No, so they took a picture before they destroyed it, and the picture before they destroyed it is what they're calling the original, because the original is set on fire and no longer there. So, like, I'm just curious as an artist, because, Banksy hasn't really, these artists, and then people are doing it with, like, Picassos and stuff. I'm just curious what your thoughts are if I were to buy a piece of your physical art, take a picture of it, set it on fire and destroy it, but the picture I took before I destroyed it, I tried to sell that as the original.
I think it's an interesting concept because you are essentially integrating the physical into the digital world. But if you have both the physical and digital coexist together, like which one is the original, right? So I see this burning action, the destruction of the physical world version of this painting is an element of this whole art form. So I think it's pretty interesting, so that it only exists in the virtual world, and from then on you can only enjoy it from the digital format. I think it's a very revolutionary idea.
Yeah, there's no going back. You can't 3D print it. Maybe in the future the technology might exist. Oh wow, yeah,
Well,
this is it right here.
one-
Hong Kong Laser Show. The original photo of this is great, but the painting is so much better.
And
It's
if you
gorgeous.
recall, actually, he actually did a similar thing to what you're describing with this particular NFT, in that I believe he painted over it.
Yeah, actually, I painted over it with something else, but I didn't record the actual process. So I think in my future NFT, I would actually do that. I'll record a video of me destroying it in certain ways, maybe cut it out, cut it apart, or paint it over or something.
Maybe you could let somebody
No.
choose how it gets destroyed or something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah, that'd be
funny.
That'd be kind of cool. Because I was
Yeah.
trying that at
I'm
first.
voting for
Yeah,
Volcano. I'm sorry, but you're gonna
Yeah.
have to walk all the way up because I would love the piece of art to be destroyed in a volcano.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of proof of work right there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even something simple like a wood chipper, like anything. It'd be very, very cool.
What do you think? So he painted over it. I don't know if he remembers which painting is over top of that and it's underneath. But how do you feel as a collector? Are you interested in having the one that it's underneath?
Absolutely,
Like, is
that's
that-
cool. It's like a nested
that an
NFT,
original?
right? Like, I don't know
You
if
think he
Ricker's aware,
knows?
but like if you make an NFT, you could actually put another NFT inside of it. So you would have to destroy that NFT to get the other one out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's, really expensive processes that you can go through where they could remove the new layers of paint to get to the other layers that are dried underneath. It's probably way too expensive, but it is possible. They have done it before where they found like art by, Michelangelo or something. It was like some crazy. It was weird because it was like biblical, and then they found
It was
other
Leonardo
stuff.
da Vinci.
It was Da Vinci. It was art underneath of art, and they were afraid of destroying that first layer to discover the second layer. So, I mean, yeah, as an art collector, I mean, that is interesting, and as an NFT collector, I'm also interested in that.
It'd be cool to
This,
see you paint over the same thing several times, and before you paint over it each time, take a photo. So that when you NFT it, you would sell like just a white painted canvas or something, and it'd be kind of odd. But like the NFT would just be like 5 or 6 different images there. So I don't know. It'd be very. I'm an abstract artist too. So to me, it'd be kind of funny to sell just a white canvas. But
And
like
it's an Easter egg now, man. Like if you really don't know which one it is, bro, it's like a hidden Easter egg.
Do you remember
cool.
which one it was?
I did actually a few more, and I can share my screen. I can show it to you.
You remember which painting is painted over it now?
Yeah. I did 2 more, which is the yellow umbrella and hold on Hong Kong. Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you want me to share my screen or?
Yeah, just make sure you're not sharing anything that's you don't want to share anything like passwords or anything.
He's on a new laptop, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Random side note.
You have to stop sharing, Andrew, so he can.
Oh, sorry. That painting got an offer of 1 ETH. We sold each
Nice.
one for 750 USDC, but the buyer refused.
What?
The buyer's a wealthy Hong Konger, and he's emotionally attached to the NFT, so he kept it.
So first I
gives it more value.
Do you see it? Do you see my screen?
Yes. So this is on top of the other one physically?
Yes, on top of the Hong Kong laser show.
Cool.
And then after this one,
I can see that.
painted
I
another
can
one.
see what you did there.
And then after that, I painted this one over it. So it's like
That's
3
awesome.
paintings. Yeah. But then in the end, I just destroy and throw it away because the paint got too thick. I can't reuse it.
Aw.
So I should have, recorded the entire process for sure next time.
Yeah, if you
just threw it in the dumpster?
just to throw it out there, maybe you could do a live stream. Also, your camera, but you could do a live stream where you're doing it like live, and people can be the witnesses, sort of like the blockchain miners of that, so they know it's not an edited, it's not faked, it was live. I was there. I was, a node. I seen it. I'm verifying it.
Yeah.
So I think if you did
Yes.
this painting over paintings during live streams, people may get to a point where they want to bid so much they really don't want you to paint on top of this one. This is the one they want. So they're going to have to really outbid all the people that have bid on the last one even. So it could be a really cool
Yeah, they have to stop you.
gamified auction type of process that not many artists I've seen using.
That sounds interesting. Yeah. I think this whole NFT world is like totally brand new and it's up to the artist and everyone to collaborate and see how to make use of it. I did some research and I find one artist, what he did is he is into both digital and physical painting. So what he did is he created a digital painting first, an abstract painting, and sell that as an NFT.
Ooh.
But then through this digital painting, what he did is he actually did 3D painting out of it, 3D printing out of it, so that it becomes a like sculpture. And then he paint on top this sculpture acrylic, which he sells as well. So then there's this whole process of the NFT original, which spawns out all these physical objects also sold separately. I think this is also very interesting.
Yeah, it's like
And
art
each one is unique.
manufacturing. It's like manufacturing art process.
Yeah.
But that is really different. I like that. And I mean, imagine when people like this understand the technology of NFTs a little bit more, he could put an NFT inside of every 3D printed model that he paints, and you would have to break that open to get to the code that would get you the NFT, or you could keep the physical piece like a what are they called? What are those eggs? What are the eggs called? Fabergé eggs.
Fabergé eggs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jinx.
Because like
Wait,
Has
did you
anybody ever
ever-
got a jinx on Fabergé egg before? That's a first.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
probably.
Did you
sorry.
ever end
not.
up opening your as you mentioned getting it physically, did you ever end up actually opening your Cabbage Patch doll, or what was it? Because
Oh,
before
Yeah,
you
the
received the
Cabbage
token,
Patch Kids.
but you didn't
So
even want to claim it because you didn't want to rip open the physical.
yeah, so I did not. I opened the whole box, and this is a separate one that's not opened. And what I got out of the other one was this card, and on the back, if I scratch this off, I can get an NFT on the blockchain, and then I can secondary market trade that NFT. And what it is, it's actually a pack of cards. It's a pack of NFTs. So there's like 6 NFTs inside the one NFT I'm gonna get, and if I want to see what those 6 are, I have to destroy the first one, and then I can see the other 6. And then there's a collectability to it. Maybe if I burn 2 of a kind, I can get a level 2 of that one. So like artists are going to be able to do a lot of like gamification with their community with this technology. Being able to buy one NFT that has all those other NFTs inside of it, and then that physical piece of art that Ricker is working on has the physical art that has all the art behind it. So now I can buy one NFT with all of these pieces of art behind it, and I can get a physical piece of art that has all of the art behind it as well.
Yeah, we've thought about like we thought about
cool.
alternatives to destroying a painting. We just didn't want to get too crazy yet, but we want to in the future maybe. But
Well,
like
there's really good ways to do it that people haven't thought of, and I'm putting it out there right now. Ready for this? Airport art banks. Those art banks that are in airports.
What?
Yeah, airports have their own little art laws. Like they have like this whole little thing in every airport that it's all for art. Like high-end art. It's like the Fort Knox of art in every airport. You can literally sign over your ownership as an artist to the bank for 1,000 years. You don't have to destroy it, but it's locked away in a vault that nobody can get to for 1,000 years. And then they can auction it off in the future, but you had the NFT this whole time. I'm just saying, bro, like that's the stuff I want to see people do. And you're right, you don't have to destroy it.
Well, I was thinking like, it'd be cool if there was some physical claimant mechanism. Like your dolls have a little thing you can take out of the physical box and scam and redeem an NFT. I've wondered if he had a physical painting, because ultimately his paintings
don't scan my code. I'm gonna block some of it. But yeah, this doll, if I scan it, I get it on the NEM blockchain.
So it'd be cool to try and put one of those on one of his paintings.
Yes.
Somehow. Like a chip or a tag.
NFC, yes.
Or
NFC, yeah. It'd be very simple too. You could kind of just paint over it.
Have you seen what Kyle Kemper has been posting recently with the Love What You Do physical piece of art with NFC tags in it? And it's a Bitcoin faucet NFT physical piece of art. So it's made out of NFC that is like a wallet for crypto.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this isn't super difficult to do. I mean, most artists would be able to do it. And I think it's kind of the future of art, really.
Yeah, we got to get Ricker in touch with John for sure. John would definitely be able to help you with that. John Constantine.
Shout out, John Constantine.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of physical art and making NFC, and he's like tying it to like it's basically like making a hardware wallet piece of art, right? Like if you took a phone and you paint it on the screen, like that's basically how you can tie it to the blockchain, right? Yeah. So he's basically just using, really cheap technology that's called NFC, near field communication. It's just a tiny little copper chip, and you can put it on your canvas. You can paint over it, and then you can write a program to that chip on the canvas and say, hey, this NFT is inside of it. Here's the password. And then if I buy it, you can tell me the password. I could take it off or I could leave it on there. There's a lot of cool stuff that could be done.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We have to teach Ricker all of these things. So far, he's been more on the cultural and artistic side of things. than
That's the
technical.
important part
Have
as an
you
artist.
seen any kind of
He's doing it
backlash
right.
or anything for what you're doing as an artist where you're at? You know, kind of it is very disruptive. It may be seen outside the normal. Are you being like ridiculed, or are people kind of seeing this inside your circle as an opportunity for them as well?
If you're talking specifically about NFT, I think there's some skepticism about the NFT because it's like exists only in the digital world, virtual world, and some people were just saying, "Oh, why would I buy an image and whatever," right? And I think like there's on the news that there's someone just sold a virtual house on Mars or something for 600K, right?
I saw that.
Yeah, Krista
Yeah.
Kim. She's Team Super.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it's an amazing piece of art, right? So I think like in the end, the way I communicate to the skeptics is like art is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like if you really appreciate, enjoy that piece of art, it doesn't matter what form, what it is. It can be just, I think in Art Basel 2 years ago, there was a cake banana on a wall, right? And it
I
was
was just
sold
gonna say that.
yeah, exactly. So like and then like even like there's some collectors who like to collect celebrity underwear, right? Like I think like a few years ago, the mother of a Hong Kong's very famous star was thinking of sell even her own daughters who has deceased the underwear to raise money. I mean, like who would buy underwear? Right? A bra is a bra. That's what I said. But to some collectors, the bra worn by this celebrity or Marilyn Monroe, for example, is going to be maybe millions. So it's up to the person who spent the money to buy it, and that's the value that art has to that person. So that's how I explain. Yeah.
And at least it gives us as art appreciators an outlet, a way to actually purchase it. People that say, why would I buy, a piece of, art, or it's a picture on the screen, right? Well, how much money do digital files make right now when you buy a song or a wallpaper, when you get a wallpaper for your iPhone or Android? That market is huge. You could just go to Google and screenshot that image, but people do collect wallpapers for their iPhone from specific artists. And they're not transferable. You can't resell them. But that's probably a good multi-million-dollar business just selling wallpapers every year for your Android and iPhone. The ability, though, then to take those screenshot wallpapers and resell them or transfer ownership to somebody, that is the key. And then the scarcity on top of that. Oh, only 200 people could actually get this wallpaper. Otherwise, I got to go online, try to figure out how to download it, hope I don't get a virus, this, that, and the other. It's downloading music illegally. Everybody did it until they got viruses, and then iTunes came out, and people started buying music again because it wasn't worth the risk. And that's how people are going to look at this. You know how many people are going to go to Google, download an image from Google, and there's a virus in that image on Google. You're literally downloading a virus. It's malware or spam. It's something, and it's only going to get worse. And people are going to realize that owning that image and being able to do all these things by transferring it, that's the difference between having a picture of a car and having the title of a car.
Yeah, that's worth noting. We had a clause in our NFT. Ricker and I talked with our buyer about this issue we're discussing because some people wanted to purchase prints of the art that he had already purchased the NFT of. So we asked the buyer, hey, is it okay if we sell prints of this NFT art that you own? And the buyer said, okay, as long as you embed the token ID in the bottom left corner of each print, referencing the token on the blockchain.
Smart.
And that's
like having a TM trademark or registered trademark at the bottom of your images. Yeah, that's actually probably good standard to set. I think that was really smart.
Yeah, it's kind of a precedent that maybe kind of gets adopted. I think that'd be cool if something like that did get
listening to
adopted
this
market
podcast
wide.
right now? Is anybody
Seriously.
listening? Because if you're
NFT
doing,
people.
please do that. Put that smart contract right there on the bottom left, and that way when people see those prints or those screenshots or whatever, like it's at least referenced. And I think that
maybe
is
that's the
very
new
important,
standard.
man.
We sign it at the bottom right as an artist, and then our token ID goes at the bottom left or something. You know, maybe there's like going to be a new standard like that.
Yeah, because the ID, I mean, instead of, you don't want to put the buyer's name because the buyer can sell it, but the ID always says the current buyer on the blockchain. You can always type that in an Ethereum Explorer and see. I
And
think
you see
that's
who
nifty.
owns it. I think that's really important.
Or the pseudonym in case they're shy. 'Cause
And
this is a
as an
politically
investor,
sensitive-
collector, it also, it's kind of what I would expect because anything to help increase that value without diluting its value, the more that you put out of it in duplication, if it doesn't come back to that original, it does dilute the value. But if every reproduction comes back to the original like that, it's multiplying its value exponentially. There are two ways to really go about it.
I agree as
Yeah.
well. And ultimately, his buyer agreed. But it's an interesting question to note, right? Everyone's arguing about what rights it actually gives you and what it means, like legally and all that stuff.
It's
as an
all
artist.
handshake deals right now, man. It's all a
Yeah.
handshake agreement. Yes, I agree. Okay, because the law doesn't recognize NFTs yet, but they'll have to create laws and regulations and register all that around this. They're gonna lobby it to death. Hopefully not, but yeah, I'm worried to see KYC and all this around like different marketplaces. But then we'll just see guerrilla marketplaces and those underground art galleries. And I think that's where the real valued art's at anyway today. It's at the galleries that are underground, that are hard to find. You have to follow the white rabbit. And it takes a year to find this artist art show that just like pops up in London one day in the basement of a kitchen.
No sign.
There's
no sign.
No sign. No, you have to be following the trails for a year to get to this. I've seen these Reddits about all this that artists have done, and it's that and that's what they're probably going to force us into, and that's why I like to buy unverified, unwhitelisted, creators, because once they get that check mark, it's like, oh yeah, I've been on that.
It's like buying chain right now.
Ooh.
You're like, it's pumping so hard. Maybe I should buy at the moment.
Yeah, DJ Me Popsicle said embed an NFT chip under the ID as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that there's the Internet of Things bringing, as an artist, Ricker, you probably have 50 different things you're using to create a piece of physical art. One more tool on your palette will probably just be a little computer chip you put on there.
Yeah, exactly. I think like this whole idea of the fear of replication is not really unique to just the digital world now.
Yep.
Even before we have computers and stuff, right? Like for example, Monet or Van Gogh, those arts are being replicated by hand painted. And actually China have a huge market of hand painted replication of famous paintings, and they sell very cheaply. But nobody, seems to be remembering that market or that business exists. This hand-painted replication exactly is similar to today's digital replication, right? And the thing is, the original is still the original. If you replicated 10,000 painting of a Monet, I think it's just going to increase awareness of this beautiful art, and the original Monet is going to increase in value. That's how I see it.
The scary thing, though, is I have to trust the guy in the room that's the art expert at the World Gallery to say this is a real Monet. How the hell? Do you know how many times those people have been wrong? And it takes 5 years to find out that they were wrong. Yeah. See, but with NFTs and that little chip, I can go to the blockchain and see, you know what? Yeah, this came exactly from the smart contract that Ricker signs every time. Somebody could duplicate your art and try to, do something to that aspect of like, but once you go and look at it on the chain, you'll say, oh, that contract that signed it, that's not the original contract. This is clearly a duplicate. I don't need to trust some expert. I can verify my physical art on the blockchain if it is a real or fake Monet. But today, probably 80% of real art isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many physical counterfeits. Like you said, I mean, people forget that's an actual job for like a lot of painters that can't get their things into big exhibits and auction houses. Is like they're physically reproducing counterfeit art. Like I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure as an artist, like a lot of people out there know at least one person that's done this in their past. Like it's a job for a lot of us. So I don't know. This is cool. This is what I explain to people when they're like, "Why am I not just buying an image here? Explain to me why this isn't just a JPEG that I'm purchasing." I'm like, "Well, that's it. Like you're purchasing the thing. Like this is the one and only. You have the rights to this thing. Like it's different for sure."
Not
And
a JPEG, the JPEG.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's the JPEG.
That's a good
It's
tweet,
not-
Nathan. You just got you got one of those good ones today. You better tweet that out.
Yeah.
NFTs aren't a JPEG. They're the JPEG.
Yeah.
I'll see if this one gets any attention. I hope.
That was a good one. I mean, yeah, that, and not just that, but also utility, right? Like, and I've talked to physical artists like Ricker before of, imagine being able to know the mailing address to every person who's currently in possession of one of your pieces of art. Couldn't you,
That could be
wouldn't
dangerous.
you, but wouldn't you like to be able to write them a note to say thank you and send it to them? But you can't engage with them by them having your physical. If I have your NFT, maybe on Christmas you write NFT letters and you airdrop them to everybody who bought one of your pieces of art. You know, it's just a way for artists to communicate with their fans, as well as maybe you could create a whole new piece of art, pick a random person and just airdrop it like you're shipping it right to my front door, and I open up it on Christmas morning and I have a brand new original mint one of one. And it's just because I bought a $10 NFT a year ago.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think, like, as an artist, my relationship with the buyers is really important. Like, I see them as my friends, and I like to communicate with them, talk to them. And I think, like, with NFT, that's really some way to connect with them directly. Because in the physical world, if a painting is resold, like, I lost contact. Like, who is it sold to now? You know, after it's sold to the end person. And also, I think, like, I have some people who are skeptical saying, oh, why would I buy an NFT and if I'm not sure if I can resell it? But then my point is that, well, just go back to the fundamental, right? Like if you're buying or reselling to gain a profit, then you're just a speculator. You're not really an art collector. Who is an art collector, right? An art collector is someone who look at someone's art, really appreciate that piece of art, and he's going to buy the art without caring if I can resell it because I want to support the artist, right? So if the artist is creating a digital painting or creating a physical sculpture, whatever format it is, he's not going to care about, oh, is it going to be replicable? Is it going to be resellable? He just wants to support the artist. So I think a lot of people who are skeptics may be just worrying on the wrong thing because they are just worrying about speculation. Can I resell to make a profit? And I think that is not really necessarily the only buyer of NFT. There's a lot of people who are collector would like to support the art community and they appreciate the art and buy them for art's sake, I guess you can say it.
Well, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on people who buy art and lock it away in their basement and they don't let anybody see it ever again, right? The most famous example is, what is it? That guy who bought the Wu-Tang album. He never let anybody listen to the Wu-Tang.
Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, that guy. He's an asshole.
That's why I
Nobody-
really hate him. That's the reason.
That, yeah, and a few others. I think EpiPen too, and he does a bunch of other racketeering scams that he's got like
Those
invested in.
things.
Yeah, that guy. He's a complete scumbag, but he bought that one of one Wu-Tang album and he owned the legal rights to it. Like, if anybody wanted to play it on the radio, he would have made the money for it. And if anybody wanted to put it in a movie, he would have got paid for that because the Wu-Tang gang gave it up right to him. He was like, here, you own the legal one of one. And he just locked it away and said nobody's allowed to listen to it ever again. But as an artist, when you make an NFT, if I wanted to hold it and never sell it no matter what, or I locked it away in my hardware wallet and I lost the private keys, we as appreciators of the arts can still go to the blockchain. We can still listen to the Wu-Tang album on the blockchain. We just can't own it. And we can see your art even though we can't own it. And I think there's a really powerful thing there as artists who have sold so much of their art that is lost forever to house fires, natural disasters, and even people that are just naturally just assholes or competitor artists who may be competing with you as an artist, buy your art to destroy it so nobody appreciates it. I'm curious what your thoughts are on how like NFTs can make art more future proof.
Yeah, I think like for sure NFT is something totally new, and I think it's up to us as an artist and even the buyer. We can, I think the magic is we can actually communicate and discuss how we want to create and use this NFT technology and the blockchain technology. So, for example, like Andrew was saying, we were discussing with the buyer of my Hong Kong laser show and say, okay, someone wants to do a print, and what do we do? And we discussed in a collaborative way to find a solution. I think like if more and more buyers are interested, they can even propose new ways of buying or artists to create NFT so that there's a genuine collaboration. I think it's a very different than the traditional art market, whereas the painter or the artist create something, and then the one buyer will be buying it, or the one buyer may, if it's a commission, can give some input to it, but it's very, I guess, focused or not as broad type of collaboration. But here with NFT, I think the collaboration with buyer and artist can be very broad, and community. We can build an entire community based on it.
I think your buyers will tend to be cooperative as well, because they tend to be supportive of this Hong Kong freedom cause. So few buyers of your art are going to be assholes who are like, no, I don't want anyone to see this, because most of them want people to see your message. Like our first buyer is, I don't want to talk too much about his identity, because you're going to have this problem. Not all your buyers are going to want to be known, are they? Especially if they have family in Hong Kong. Like that's like a target owning one of your paintings.
Well, that's the thing I used as an example when I got into crypto very, very early in 2015. My favorite example when people were like, why are you using Bitcoin? That's stupid. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is kind of stupid, but it's only because I live here in America. But where other people live, not so much stupid. Visa's kind of stupid. I could buy a piece of art from somebody in North Korea, and I could use Bitcoin to do it. And there's no other financial means of transportation I could have used to facilitate my money to that artist in North Korea for a piece of art that was just emailed to me as a JPEG file. But I could use crypto to do it. And now on top of that, I could also now say that JPEG file I got from the artist in North Korea that I couldn't have sent money to any other way than Bitcoin, it's also on the blockchain, and I can prove that artist made it, and I could use that technology with what I was already doing with it by buying art with it, but from people that I couldn't use PayPal to buy art from. And I think that market, it's literally giving each artist a worldwide art gallery auction house. And the world has never seen that really before. Like you had Fiverr or Etsy, but it's never been to the level of like Beeple has his own auction house on the blockchain, right? Like just a website has replaced Christie's. He never has to go back to Christie's ever again. He replaced it by making his own website. Every artist is going to be their own Christie's gallery.
And the immutability of it, I think when we deal with subject matter like this, we can see more of the value of immutability, because if Ricker were to put his artwork in a physical regulated art gallery, that art gallery might receive threats to its physical office from agents of the Chinese government. And so a centralized art gallery, just like with Bitcoin, we talk about points of failure, right? We don't want centralized points of failure. In this case, any human gallery operator is a central point of failure, because he can be bribed, threatened, harassed, and he'll be like, take Ricker's painting out of your gallery or else.
Or I'll never put another piece of art up in here again. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had that problem, Ricker? Like are you in any galleries yet? Yeah, he has a lot of buyers already.
Yeah, well, I think one aspect I want to say also is with like the last few months, I sold quite a few paintings, like about 35, 40 of them, because I think not too many artists are painting for Hong Kong, kind of doing as much as I'm doing in a physical format. So I sold quite a lot, and I literally spent a month wrapping, painting, and packaging them, and I didn't have any time to do any painting for about a whole month. I mean, with NFT, right? Like, there's no more physical shipment of painting, and it would just be much more efficient in art creation, so that when you have a buyer, you literally have nothing to do. You don't need to pack and ship the painting.
And
also
what if
there's
it
a lot
gets
of
lost in the mail?
yeah, exactly, and that's what I fear. Like have shipped so many, and I have to actually literally track every single package. And sometimes, like UPS is holding it, and I have to question them. Hey, why are you holding it? It's longer than you promised to deliver it, and I have to back and forth so much, and it's a lot of admin work actually. But with NFT, of course, all those goes away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was
And back to
curious.
Andrews. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was curious earlier what you're talking about how a lot of the buyers like kind of want to get involved in this process a little bit more and be a part of what you guys are doing. I was wondering like what was your response going to be if that buyer had said like, nah, I really don't want you to sell prints of it. Like, did you guys kind of have a plan for that or not?
Actually, I'm fine. Actually, it's not just really NFT. Even my original paintings, the physical one that I sold, I always also ask the buyer if you permit me to sell it as a reprint. And always the intention is to raise more money for Hong Kong. So it's just a convention that I use to all the painting I sold, NFT versus physical painting. I always ask permission first.
Has anybody
And
ever
if
said
the buyer
no?
say no, then I have to respect it, right?
Okay.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious to see if anybody had said no, just because of kind of the subject matter, and maybe they don't, one thing that's cool about Wax blockchain, by the way, is I think that you couldn't essentially do prints on there. Like they're selling for less money at times, or you can actually afford to price them for less and do like a small.
Yeah, you could sell a million prints for 1 penny.
Yeah,
you can't sell a million NFTs for 1 penny each on Ethereum.
No, we're gonna do this. Maybe I could show you my wax store real quick.
Or even like with $1, if you had an NFT that was only going to have 1 million prints and it was $1 each, you only needed 1 million buyers, and you raised $1 million.
Yeah, you're essentially starting a charity where everybody can afford to donate,
and they get a cool receipt. It's way better than a PayPal receipt.
Yeah, like you're getting the picture. It's very, very unique. I think it just provides a lot of cool opportunities that apply directly to like what you guys are doing. So I would urge you to kind of just look at that model too, like the mass, produce the flyer version, the print version, to kind of help raise awareness in addition to kind of selling the fine art. It's just a cool new option that's available to people. And like you said, the shipping, the handling, the packaging, it's not a problem anymore.
So you do have Wax NFTs up right now. What's the name of the collection here?
On my screen, I just shared for a sec. You can see this is our first demo of our wax store that I made. So we want to start trying to put some NFTs on here. Because like you said, on OpenSea, we have 2 so far, but they're quantity 1. On Wax, I think it would be cool to experiment with some higher quantity mintings. So I don't know, you can see here, it's just, there's a logo description.
So do you see where it says QBIR2.WAM? I can help you actually get like an actual username to replace that. So when you're signing the NFTs, it's actually signed by your name and not by your wallet.
So this can be changed to whatever pseudonym.
No, the whole thing, not even .WAM. That whole thing will be changed to a 12 up to 12, but 12 is free. So if you have a 12 character name, don't say it out loud because somebody will steal it. Don't say it. But if you have an idea of what you would want, that's what it would be. I could help you set that up. So when you sign the NFT and mint it, it's actually going to read the name in the metadata on the blockchain.
That would be cool. Now, how much is on Wax? How much is on chain in terms of metadata? The standard stuff, like
you could have immutable metadata. Yeah, you could have the hash and all of this. You could have about you could add a lot to the immutable metadata. And what's I think really cool is they have mutable metadata. So if you wanted to put something in there like your website, your email, your phone number or something,
changeable.
And it's changeable. If you had a new email, new website, or they have things that are really cool, gamification. So if you take 2 NFTs and you burn them together, that mutable metadata might say from level 1 to a level 2. And now it has 200 power instead of a 100 power in the game. So there's a lot of those NFTs that have metadata that's permanently on the blockchain, And you could have a very, very, very long laundry list of whatever you want to put into that metadata. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but you could also have what Ricker has been doing. You could have 10 NFTs inside of one NFT, and they're all viewable, but they're only ownable by having this one.
Man, this is all getting so wild. I thought of something that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned an airdrop idea. Now, is it still possible? I think I remember seeing you do this on Twitter once. Send someone crypto assets through Twitter randomly. Like there used to be a service where you could tweet at someone, and then that person you tweeted at has coins they can claim.
Yep.
It'd be cool to forcibly send people Ricker Koi NFTs this way.
CoinKit's working on it, man. I got to get you in touch with Cheka Z. Cheka Z is working on exactly what you're saying.
Like to the Chinese government, like to the CCP's embassy.
I sent Donald Trump his first Bitcoin in a tweet.
Nice. So we could send G some artwork.
Like Donald Trump has the private key in his Twitter DM if he ever gets his account back. But he did. He actually owned that Bitcoin I sent him because he was in possession of the private keys and nobody else.
Yes. So we could make the president of China the proud owner of one Ricker Koi.
If he has a Twitter account, yup, and or people are setting up other social connections, so you could use like multi-sig social constructs to kind of be like, this is the Twitter account face, so you could like log in right to this cloud wallet with multiple social media accounts, and so that way if you ever like left Twitter, as long as this person has a WeChat and we know their WeChat info, like that WeChat info is still in ownership of that NFT and nobody else's or any other type of, so there's a lot of ways that you could distribute ownership to somebody that's claimable, but only by them verifying that they have the credentials that you set beforehand.
Yeah, I'll do a Winnie the Pooh. And then you can hook it up to presidency.
Yes. We gotta get Ricker and Beeple to work on an NFT together. That's the goal for 2021. Everybody.
That'd be cool.
Wow, he's amazing.
It would be cool because he's more experienced with the physical side. So we haven't been animating them or anything like that. There's so much cool stuff you can do.
I have animators in my Telegram. You should reach out to Nanu Burks. She's actually added a augmented reality filter to that physical mint 1 of 1 that we're selling. So if you bought the physical piece of art and you have it on your wall, if you look at it through your phone, there's an augmented, it comes to life. It starts to move around. It's amazing.
Oh, cool.
There's a few artists that I have in my Telegram that could work with you and help you bring that art to life with pretty basic tools. You don't have to go out to Beeple level right away, but I'm sure that as you learn the tools, you'll be able to get there soon.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's good. What charities did you give to with your last sales? Do you have any favorites? I remember it was that TDAC one that you were doing in Toronto.
Yeah, how do you choose where you're going to donate?
Asking me?
Oh, were you asking me?
Yeah. What's your favorite? Yes. I'm asking Ricker. Is that your favorite charity now?
He said, are you talking to me? No, I'm sorry.
Talking to me?
Actually, I spread it around. For example, I have been donating to some Canadian charity like Toronto Association for Democracy in China or the Vancouver Society in supporting the Hong Kong democratic movement. Or Taiwan, there's like an Aegis store that helps a lot of the dissidents in Taiwan. Or US, I try to spread around because there's so many political dissidents fleeing Hong Kong to settle in different parts of the world. So I try to help out everywhere. There's no one specific charity, but I try to spread it out. Yeah.
And, you, just to clarify, so we are Canadian based. I'm in Vancouver, he's in Toronto, but you were born in Hong Kong, right? Like a long time
Yes, I was born in Hong Kong. Yes. So I was born in Hong Kong in the 70s and I left Hong Kong to Canada in the late 1980s. So I've been here in Canada for more than 30 years. And I haven't been back to Hong Kong much, except like 2 or 3 times for brief visits. So that's it.
Yeah. I was in Hong Kong last year.
What
I
are you
ate
doing there?
I ate a pigeon and it was delicious, and I can't wait to go back and eat another pigeon. And people like,
Uh,
yo, that was my favorite food of the whole,
Delicacy.
my favorite food of the whole trip, bro. And I ate everything like that I wouldn't normally eat on a menu, because like I was figuring I'm in Hong Kong, I might as well eat like real food, right? So I just said to the waiter or waitress, is like whatever's like the best selling dish, you know. And the next thing I had, it was a pigeon, bro. I'm telling you. But anyway, yeah, Hong Kong's beautiful. I was there for a cryptocurrency conference a year ago. And I was talking about NFTs and, you know, crypto kitties and stuff like that. And people weren't very interested in it. You know, I'm curious what you think may be able to gain some people's interest. The average person that's already collecting your art that doesn't really care about digital files or cryptocurrencies or investing and making money. How do we get them interested in just using this as a normal avenue to buy art, not as a speculator or an investor, just as a normal way of, you know, getting your art as they normally would?
But I think the high profile artists like people like he is doing really like something amazing, right? Like he got auctioned, and I think he's probably the first one that get NFT to such high profile. And from then on, I keep seeing news about uh, NFT being sold and stuff like that. And I keep posting on Facebook about these news, and hopefully, just more people be aware of it and see this as a new art form.
But do you
I
think
think like
that can
anything
scare
new,
people off? Because I'm thinking that's what's making it look more like investments and less like collectibles.
mm, yeah. Actually, like one problem I have is I don't know how to reach out to the NFT community. It seems like for me, I've been posting all my art on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, and it's everyone who is interested in the physical art. I haven't been able to get in touch into the cryptocurrency world and the NFT world. I think like there's still some barrier between the physical and the blockchain world. That's how I feel. Like blockchain is totally new to me, and only through Andrew I'm able to try to like get involved. But still, I don't get into the community. I don't know actually even as an artist myself. How do I get
I could
into
tell
this?
you, join other artist communities. Like, you know, if you're on Facebook and you see Vesa, you know, tweet or post a Facebook, you know, engage with other artists and reply to the people that are commenting, right? So if you see people commenting on Beeple, reply to them and say, yeah, you're right. That is a good paint or something, you know, engagement with the people that engage with other people. I think that's like a really good way, just like how you would in any other normal environment. If you walked into a new school, how do you make friends? Well, you just, you know, start talking to people, and you see people talking to other people that you've already talked to. Now you feel comfortable walking up to that group of people because you know one or two people out of the 30 people in that group. And then now your group grows, and now you know everybody in the school. So I think that's how it'll kind of be as a new artist, just joining other artist communities, you know, not necessarily to promote your own art or, you know, buy their art even. I don't think that's an obligation, but I think it's more along just supporting each other, asking questions, helping with answers. And you know, that's about it. I don't think it's, you know, expected to buy somebody's art to join their community. You know, everybody is welcome, and any, you know, and the more communities you join, the more people will join yours.
Collaboration as well. So, I mean, one thing I did early on when I got into the NFT space was collaborate with a few other artists that actually knew what they were doing. They understood the space, like, you know, and I did a big one with Kenn. And it's kind of interesting that if you do make a couple good friends, you know, it is like he said, it's like going to a new school, trying to make friends. If you meet one or two, you know, maybe they'll introduce you to all their friends, and next thing you know, you've actually got a more vibrant social life than you ever had at the other school. So it's kind of cool how that works. I would just start too, like I said, by collaborating with people. You know, if you're gonna work with, say, Kenn on a piece, after that, from here on out, all the people that buy his stuff know your name. They know that you're an NFT artist. So just getting your foot in the door like that with somebody is really good. Just doing a show like this is incredible too, because you have so many NFT people watching, and they're all going to be looking for your art now.
That lives in your neighborhood, Ricker. One of my favorite community members, DJ Meat Popsicle.
Hey.
He's a
Hi.
very talented wizard. He could help you with a lot of NFT related things when it comes to getting your physical art more connected physically to your NFTs. And he only lives an hour or so away from where you mentioned. So if you join my Telegram, like I'm just joining a community, join this. You know, you maybe a neighbor right down, you know, the town. Somebody that could help you out with this, and that's what this is all about, is community growth. You know, everybody helps everybody, and I've been a big proponent of, you know, artists who buy other people's art are probably better off than artists who don't. You know, if you're buying other artists' art, then those artists, you know, will want to support you as you support that. And it's just the rising tides raise all ships. You know, there would be no starving artists if all artists bought art from everybody, like each other.
Yeah. I think to answer Ken's question about how the real world people, well, not real world, but like the physical world can connect more with the virtual world, I think have to start from the artists, right? Like people like who paint physically start to have to get interested in NFT and start to actually understand this community and how it works, what's the technology behind it. I think the problem is there's a steep learning curve. So for example, when Andrew started creating the NFT for me, I was totally like, don't know what the hell he's doing. And I just let him, you know, drive everything. And finally, I actually literally have to spend a few days going through YouTube, try to understand what's Ethereum, what's blockchain, and all the slogans or all the technology terms, read a lot about it. And I think after literally maybe 10, 15 hours of reading and watching YouTube, finally I know what is gas fee, for example. Like Andrew was telling me gas fee, like what is it? And
Sorry
he tried to
about
explain to
those.
me.
It's
Terrible
shipping
right
and
now.
handling. Shipping and handling.
Yeah, and he tried to explain to me, I still don't get it. And I really have to go to all these like blockchain website to read through everything and get the hang of it. And I think and for someone who is totally new, I think it's a steep learning curve to even think of trying to set up a web store. Like it's not just click and point, right? It's like, oh, what's a wallet? What's different options of wallet? There's a physical USB that you can keep, or there's some online wallet you can use. Like it's crazy, so much to learn. And I think as an artist that do physical painting, one have to willing to learn go through the learning curve, get involved. And I think then the other people from the I guess the regular physical world will be interested more in NFT.
Yep, I don't think this is anything new, Ricker. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, the paint that artists and canvases that artists have used have evolved over time. And if you wanted to invest in your art, the paint that's going to last longer than 5 or 10 years, that's pretty expensive paint. It's hard to get, and it costs a lot. And then canvases that can actually hold paint without it falling off for 50 years aren't easy. It's expensive. And I think that, you know, people are going to look at, you know, the physical world that can fall apart and the virtual world that is more, you know, future proof. As an artist coming in, they're going to look and say, hey, this painting that it just took me, you know, like Beeple, that if he was painting that for 15 years, the first time he put paint on it, by the last time he put paint on it, would have been falling apart. So he had to do it digitally. You know, and if you wanted to make a piece of art today and you want it to last 100 years, it may not even be cost possible with, you know, the way paint technology exists. But now artists can create art that can live forever. It won't deteriorate. There's no oxidation. You know, you don't have to worry about that. And I think that, you know, that's where that might incentivize the artist more than the money. I think that might incentivize artists more than saying, hey, you're going to make Beeple money. He made 69 million. You're an artist. Go make millions. They're like, I've been an artist. I've been trying to make millions for, like, I've been doing. But the point of it, I think, is your art will live forever. And I think that might be the incentive to really strive into the average artist who may not want to learn about technology. But if it's going to be able to keep that piece of art alive, immortal for eternity, that I think is going to be like a driving force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Reminds me of a joke.
Yeah.
What joke?
It's just a joke I made the other day to a friend about NFTs. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Go on.
Go ahead, Ricker.
Like, this is gonna be inappropriate. I can't say
Yeah,
it.
he's like, I have to
He's
redact
I
it.
reconsidered.
I was just going to say, like, if there's any existing already, like NFT 101 for artists, that'll be amazing. Like, I tried to look for it for an artist. What are the things I need to understand about blockchain NFT? And I couldn't find anything. I actually literally have to Google. And sometimes I get too deep into actually start talking about development, code writing. And I thought, okay, shit, I'm too deep into this. I have to come back out and look for something
Go
else.
this way.
Because sometimes you just get dragged into it and try to get lost and without knowing it. I think if there is something, maybe I can create that later on once I know more about NFT technology as well. That I can create some blog or YouTube explaining this to other artists so that the learning curve is not as steep. So I think, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. For artists, maybe there's something can be created for them.
And one thing that's really cool for like really successful physical artists that they're not going to have to worry about either anymore. And I say this a lot, but it's transportation, security, storage. You know, it takes a lot. You know, if that $69 million Beeple was a physical piece, it takes a lot of people to guard that to just move it from museum to museum. So it's like you're cutting out so many costs. Like, I know that fees are expensive, but if you consider the long-term fees of owning a priceless artifact, it's not very much, you know.
I thought I just remembered. I was my friend the other day. He told me he collects NFTs, but he doesn't use them. And he has all these. And I was asking him, like, because NFTs, that a lot of the ones we have are used in games.
But that's like any
like
one
Gods
of our
Unchained,
friends that had action figures growing
Splinterlands.
up, and they never
Yeah.
took them out of the box.
And
Or
I
you
was
collected
like,
magic
well, dude,
cards and you didn't play the game or something.
yeah, but those are physical, so they can lose their mint condition. His NFTs aren't going to lose their mint condition.
That's a good
no matter how
point,
many
yeah.
times he
You're not going to bend the
plays.
corners.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's like,
It's
well,
not gonna happen.
still, these are freshly minted still. And
See, I
Is that
brought
a-
this up to my community, and I think
cool.
everybody's batted down my thought process on this, but I've always said if I have a piece of art directly from the buyer and there's no other transactions on the ledger, it's like having a piece of art without a bent corner because I was the first person to touch it. It's more mint condition because I was like the only person to touch it after the artist. And I think that has value to that person that you're talking about. I think they're on that same level as me. Is, wow, you have an NFT from, Mark Cuban. Oh, wait, you bought that from, Nathan off of Rarible. No, but it's from Mark
Yeah.
Cuban. But it's like you didn't get a Mark Cuban signature when you met him. You bought a Mark Cuban signature from Nathan after he met Mark Cuban.
or
What's
you
up,
know
Mark?
how
You feel what
some
I'm
people-
saying?
You know how
We
some
know each
people
other.
prefer to get freshly mined bitcoins because they don't want their bitcoins to have an associated history, possibly with criminals or whatever.
Virgin
so
coins
they want
are
to buy
more
their
valuable
coins.
than dirty coins all day, bro. One Bitcoin
Yeah.
doesn't always equal one Bitcoin, and that is the
Right.
biggest common misconception in crypto history.
Yeah, aren't there blacklisted Bitcoin?
Yeah,
I
and there's
mean,
tainted Bitcoin. There's
people,
also
people forget.
there's also Bitcoin that have never been forked, right, Andrew? A Bitcoin
I
that has not
suppose.
been forked yet, still holding Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin
Oh.
SV. Nobody got their forked coins yet. So I mean, there's still Bitcoin that people have been holding that have other Bitcoin inside of them, like these
Yeah.
nested pieces of art that I'm talking about. It's kind of cool to look at Bitcoin as art in its own right. But I guess I can wrap things up. We got a $22 super chat from Anthony. He said buy
22.
NFTs, trade NFTs, hodl NFTs. And then he asked if we had any thoughts about rats.art. I don't know about rats.art, but for $22, bro, I'll check it out after the live stream.
Hey, get that right.
Yeah, let me check. I'll tell
Everybody
you what
get
I
that
think in
rat.
Telegram after the live stream. But so Andrew, Ricker, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate your time and your perspective. Is there
Yeah.
any way that you could let people know where they could get in touch with you and be able to maybe buy some of your art, Ricker?
Yeah, sure. You can Google me, Ricker Choi. There'll be my website, my Facebook that come up, Instagram, I have Twitter, Telegram. So everywhere you can, just type my name and it will pops up and you can.
He
contact
said,
me.
just said, bitch, Google me.
Google me. I'm everywhere. Can't miss
No,
me.
I'm saying is I try
Famous
to
artist now.
I try to be present in all the different platforms. So sometimes when I have a painting done, it literally takes me 20 minutes to post it everywhere. I just want to have more people see my stuff. That's all.
No,
World
I
famous.
respect it, man.
Don't hide from it. You're awesome. We love
No,
you.
see, this universally famous, bro. The internet knows
Universal.
no bounds, dude. There's gonna be
Interplanetary.
aliens coming from other galaxies because they saw some sick ass art floating in the ether.
Yeah,
Interesting,
they heard
yeah.
Ricker was here.
Right?
We
Right?
need to
Take
get
me
this
to
thing
your
signed.
Ricker. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping
Thank you
by.
so much. Thank you.
Andrew, I know you're
Thanks,
quite
man.
involved with a few things. You wanted to shout anything else so people can get involved and see what you're up to?
Still just doing blockchain games mostly. Visit blockchaingaming.com. Helping this guy.
All right.
See,
Blockchain gaming.
Google Hong Kong Defense Initiative
Yeah,
as well.
Hong
We have a
Kong
webpage.
Defense Initiative. Hong Kong Defense Initiative, bros. And check it out in Decentraland. He has a gallery. It's pretty damn sick. And you can walk
Very
around
cool.
and experience the art, not just look at it on your Google images. Like, you can experience art now. And I encourage you all to experience it. So if you're, if you have the why is this a thing and why, it's because you're not experiencing it yet. You're looking at it from outside the box, right? It's why are bikes so much fun? I don't understand. Have you ever rode a bike before? You ever sit on a bike and pedal and have the wind blow through your hair? Like, no. So you don't understand why bikes are so much fun. You have to participate in some things to understand them. And this is one of them. And I love what you guys are doing. Thank you all for watching. Anthony for the super chat. I'll look at rats.art after this. Sean from Just Learn Crypto did a $5 donation. Thank you so much. Ellie Blob. DJ Me Popsicle. He wants to hang out, Ricker. So you're going to end up meeting DJ. Watch. He's going to show you some cool stuff, man. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As always, have a day.
Have a day. We love you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're 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 gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.